Is a hatch year sharp-shinned hawk. We've been getting a nice assortment for you today. Those of you that are around earlier and saw the second year and the after second year bird. We know this is this year's bird because of these beautiful yellow eyes. As they get older, those will change to an orange and then to a red. And so that changes quite a lot. They'll also get a lot darker colored on the back. Right now this one's pretty well, good description is pretty much brown all over. Brown streaks down the front. Those will later on get more rusty colored, and rather than being like vertical teardrops the way they are right now, they'll turn into more horizontal markings.
This is 3 months old then.
What type of
Yep,
hawk is
yep, it's exactly. This is a sharp-shinned hawk. Flexibility. Their wings are, in the scheme of things for birds of prey, comparatively short and round in comparison to some of the bigger birds. They also have this nice long tail. I'll come around the other way so you can see the back too.
Where did you get him to?
This one came from the banding station, and what happens at the banding station is we have lures that look like injured birds, and these birds, as they're migrating along, need to eat and maintain their energy, and so something that looks like a free meal, it's like, sign me up! I'm coming in! They come cruising in for a landing to check it out and run into a little bit of net. Take a look at these legs. These are really good for grabbing. Excellent flexibility once again for grabbing stuff. These guys have been known to grab things right out of the nests or right out of trees because those long legs are just outstanding for fly-by grabbing. Would he have been caught banded? He could have been caught banded. This one wasn't.
I mean, when did that happen?
That was just a little bit ago.
Oh, today.
Yep, they were caught today and banded, and the band is on here like a bracelet. Gets a social security number, sort of. You know, it's the only bird in the world that'll have that number, and the bird banding laboratory can keep close track of what's going on. If anyone else ever catches this bird, they'll take down the number, send it in, and they'll be able to send information both to the person who banded the bird originally and say, okay, your bird took off, it was later caught in Georgia by a nature center, la 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 la, and we've got information there. Cruising around there, these guys are just outstanding hunters. They migrate only as far as they need to, as far as heading south. If your food is only going a little ways south, that's all the further you need to go. As long as there's songbirds, these birds are around. And so quite frequently anymore, we as humans have started this nice habit of having bird feeders. And the bird feeders are great places for songbirds. They're also great places for these guys to come in and raid. Bird feeder in the true sense of the word. More than one level of bird feeder. Yeah, hold on, we're going to get some pictures. Go ahead, face this way so we can get you a good Christmas card. And then I'm going to get out of the way. And on 3, we'll give you a count to 3, and on 3, just give it.
Feel that wing. Okay, it's kind of stiff and slippery and smooth. And red-tailed hawks hunt during the day, right? So they and they hunt by finding their prey and then pouncing on it. So it doesn't really matter if they make a fair amount of noise, okay? But a great horned owl hunts at night, and if their wings make all that noise, they can't hear their prey. So it's more about being silent so they can hear their prey more than being silent so their prey doesn't hear them. Feel that. It's a totally different feel. So it's muffled. It's like this. I mean, it's got all that texture on it.
So the red tail hunts by sight and the owl hunts by sound.
Yes. And there again, you can see that
Oh, sure.
the leading edge of that wing. Look at the red tail's wing. It's just slick and it's crisp. So it slices through the air. So did you get to feel the red tail's wing? It's real smooth and slippery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to feel these? That's a red-tailed hawk, and this is a great horned owl.
If they're older than 3 years old, we can't tell. We just know that they're at least in their third year. We also know because they have stripes. Okay, they have stripes going down their breast instead of bars. By the second year, they will have molted out all these feathers, and when they come back in, it'll be barred, and it'll be more of a cinnamon color. In the back of them, instead of the brownish color, the back will be more of a grayish slate color. So they change as they grow. Sharp-shinned hawks are the smallest member of the accipiter family. The accipiters are woodland hawks. They eat small birds. They eat some of the birds that they might be catching over there, the chickadees. This one, they could eat up to a blue jay size. They have very long tails and short, relatively short wings. And that's so that they can easily, with great maneuverability, fly through the forested areas that they live and hunt in. If they had really long wings, it would be a lot harder for them to make their way through the trees and such. The tail, the long tail, helps serve as a rudder, just like on an airplane. It helps them steer. These guys, because they do eat small songbirds, sometimes you'll see them around bird feeders. A few years back, I was living down outside of Milwaukee, and I was sitting at my dining room table paying bills, I think, and the sparrow came crashing into the sliding glass door. And it, not hard, I mean, it didn't hurt itself. And then it flew up and it tried to get in again. It was like it was trying to get in the house. And I thought, what is wrong with this bird? And then it went and hid behind a potted plant that I had next to the sliding glass door. And the next thing I saw was, we weren't sure if it was a sharpshin, which would be one of these, or the next size up, a Cooper's hawk, came swooping right past the sliding glass door. It's like, that bird made it another day. And a lot, many, that's what's lunch and dinner. But they're very good flyers. Let's see, they have an ability to lock on with their eyes to their prey. See, he's locked onto me right now. And when they do that, they cannot move their eyes in their sockets. We can go up and down, sideways, back and forth. They can't. They're just in their socket. And so what they do instead is they move their body. They lock onto their prey, and then they move their body to maneuver their way through as they're hunting. And you're going to hold it. No, keep your left hand down. Because sometimes they see that left hand and they think, ooh, that might be some food. Okay, you got it? That's good. That's good. And Eric is going to take your picture. Now, take a moment with that. You can see it must have caught something recently because it's got a little blood on its back. Just take a moment to look at it. Really notice something about its eyes or its pupils. So you're going to hold it up like it's the Statue of Liberty, and we're going to count to 3. And when we get to 3, just a second. When you get to 3, we're going to go pop. You're going to just pop it out of the air, okay? And you guys help us count. And I'm going to get out of the picture right here. Okay, we ready? 1, 2, 3.
Christmas card shops here.
Is that what it is?
Oh,
Doesn't look like Santa Claus.
For you to send out to all your.
2, 3. The other one, what we're going to do for this one is...
And then when we count to 3, he'll try and get a flight shot. And on 3, you're going to get it just a little push. Okay? All right, are we ready?
1, 2, 3.
Very nice.
Bye, baby.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Feathers here. It's probably the time of the molt for him. Let's see. Everyone's gone away, but I have some pictures here that I can show you to explain the process. Stay right there. this bird is the only bird that will have that number. And if it's ever recaptured, then that information will go to the database in Washington, D.C., where we send all our banding information, and we'll learn more about that bird if it's recaptured, where it is, how long it has survived so far, all that kind of thing. To put the band on, I'm going to take a cool pair of pliers called banding pliers, appropriately enough, and I'm going to use this little pin right there to open the band up, and then I'm going to put the band in one of the holes like you can see here, and that way it's impossible to put the band on too tight. Here we have another one. So we'll do the process simultaneously. I've got band 225104391. All right.
Mine's 9-2. So what we're going to do then, in order to tell the age of these two white-throated sparrows, is we look at three different things. One thing that we're going to look at is, if I show you guys the bird's wing right here, you'll see that, of course, the longer feathers are called their flight feathers, so that's obviously what they fly with. And above those we have what's called coverts. I'll come a little bit closer here. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at the difference between these outer ones here and the inner ones to tell coloration, shape, pattern, things like that. Because every year a bird will lose its feathers and replace them with new ones. So for example, you can tell on this bird right here, its inner coverts have this kind of dark, beautiful chestnut color at the end. It's almost a yellowish or whitish color. And the outside here, they're pretty much drab brown. They have a little bit of a brownish edge, but because of that, we can tell that these feathers here are the adult feathers that have come in. So at some point, probably next year, when this bird starts molting again, these feathers, these coverts here, will look just like that. So based on that one indication, we can tell that this bird was born this summer. So we call that a hatch-year bird. A couple other things about white-throated sparrows is, one thing, kind of like some of the raptors, is you can look at their eye color. This one has a really, well, what color would you say that is, sir? Yep, I'd say pretty brown color, yep. And when they're adults, they'll have very distinct reddish brown color.